FileMaker won't do what we want. Oh no, what do we tell the customer? Oh, we're screwed. We need backup. We need backup. Send help. Send help. MonkeyBread software to the rescue. Reinforcements have arrived. Saving FileMaker projects, one developer at a time. MonkeyBread software. MonkeyBread software is so awesome. Yes, it is, everyone. MonkeyBread software is truly awesome. And it's a 60th broadcast with Christian Schmitz being here to try to educate us on all the great things it actually does. It's pretty impressive product. Wait, here we go. Here's the official cake. We're gonna bring this over to me. Thank you very much. So we were decided we're going to get, I need to make this bigger. I'm gonna have to be bigger. And if I dump it on the floor, that would be truly tragic. So this is the MonkeyBread official, about launched itself. I'm holding on to it for dear life. So it's a 60th episode where Christian is here trying to help us unscrew ourselves, because we promised our customer FileMaker could do something and then it couldn't. But it can if you use MonkeyBread software. So brought to you by MonkeyBread software. Thank you. So Christian Schmitz, we're going to be cutting up the cake now to have it. We will save a slice for you when you come back to the United States. All right. Very good. All right. And if you see me snacking away, it's the official cake day here. Good. Christian Schmitz, congratulations. It's not Christian's actual birthday. MonkeyBread is not 60, but it's 60 episodes of him hanging out with us. So I want to welcome all the people who are hanging out with us today. A bunch of you are here. But the idea with the MonkeyBread product is that if you have questions about, forget MonkeyBread, just put MonkeyBread out of your mind. If you're having a problem with FileMaker, especially if it seems kind of like an integration issue or a really cool, something that FileMaker doesn't seem to be able to do, those are the questions to ask, right? Because odds are it'll do it, but the only way to really know is to ask the guy who built it, and then he could direct you to the function name. You could do a search on his website, which is great, but at the end of the day, it's always better to have him give you a steer. Questions that we have from the audience. Do we have any questions from Discord? Let's see. Do we have any questions? There are no questions. Holy
guys, I could just show something.
Yeah, why don't you just show something? I'll stop sharing my screen. You can share your screen.
Yeah, we talked the other day about something with an overlay and a web viewer. Okay. So I prepared a little something.
Okay.
This is just a little bit HTML with a round rectangle. Let's just launch FileMaker. There's a script I made, and here is your overlay with the HTML. Okay. So that's something I'm working on. It's not yet finished, but if it will work, you would basically add a web viewer inside the overlay, and then you would get a web viewer reference, and so you can load a HTML page there. Yeah, and design your overlay with a HTML page.
So wait, back up. So the little red thing over there is the HTML. That's the HTML in there. Okay, great.
One, I don't want my users to be able to scroll with the scroll wheel. Is there any way to stop that?
Oh yeah, of course. Since FileMaker changed it, we frequently get things like this. Let's see, mouse. So we have a function disable mouse wheel, and
I thought this was a joke when you said you had that.
Well, on Windows, we got the people asking, can you please stop the mouse wheel? So I made this function for Windows.
Okay.
And this is also a neighbor function. And we also have a mouse wheel script trigger for Mac and Windows, which basically allows people to bring back this feature where you would use the mouse wheel to jump from record to record. That's a feature FileMaker removed, or Claris removed from FileMaker.
Oh, that's cool. I want that.
Yeah, so there's an example project. So
do you use that on a portal, or you use it on a list view?
No, that's a list view. And it has the plugin there. So example window. What was the name? Mouse wheel. So when I scroll the mouse while over this area, nothing is happening. So I can enable it, and now I can scroll.
Wow. Why did they
records.
remove that? Do we have any idea?
Well, there's a problem that people accidentally move. No, so
Accidentally, yeah.
sorry for my English. So you're typing something in the first field, then you hit the scroll wheel, you're typing something in the second field, and you're editing a different record.
Oh,
That's
I
a big
see.
problem. So people ask me about this, and
Something you have to be thoughtful about. So yeah. All right. Well, I can see why they would remove it, but you'd want to be able to turn that back on. So
Yeah, I kind of like the fact that we can now return to that because I didn't realize that was a feature, and now I want it.
yeah, you may just, I mean, in list view or maybe in a view where people don't edit, and since it triggers a script, like here we enable it by telling the plugin to run a script, mouse trigger.
okay, I have a quick question though. You said that it's only Windows. What part's only Windows? Because we're just demoing this on the Mac. So
No, this is Windows and Mac.
okay. What
That
was
was another
Windows?
feature. The other feature was to disable it. Disable the mouse wheel.
Okay.
Yeah, this one was a function I made for Windows users.
Okay.
I could make a Mac version, of course, yeah, but nobody yet asked.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Then the next thing is here, we get a script triggered when the plugin detects a mouse wheel use. So we can ask for how much the mouse wheel was accelerated. And then if you are not in a field, so if you're editing in a field actively, we don't scroll. But otherwise, we would go to the next record.
Margaret, that's pretty smart. That's all usability, right? UX.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yep.
Yeah. So it brings back the feature, and people missed it, and we have it. So people are happy.
There you go.
All right. Other questions that we have? Does anyone else have a question? It's pretty quiet here. Wow.
I want to grab several hundred photos and import them into FileMaker containers / make new records with each photo all at once. How do I do that?
Didn't we do that last time? Didn't you do a drag and drop and then it?
Yeah, we did it with drag and drop. Yeah.
I mean,
we can just.
Yeah.
Is there more than one way to do that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was going to say this. I'm probably sure there's 3 or 4 different ways. I mean, FileMaker natively has kind of a limited way to import. You have to target a directory, but it's not drag and drop. It's
here we have a few test pictures, and I drop it here, and you see I get all the pictures added. But I think we also have an example for files, file open box. Where is it? File dialog. Let's see. So I can have a few options like multi-selection. So I can use an open dialog box. Put that in. So I select all the files. That's my open button. And then I get all the paths here. And of course I can just change the database here to have a, let's see, container field. I have to move you away. So
Scott Kane's asking, is he transferring the photos locally or on the server? So you mean moving them into the file FMP12 file? It would be.
Yeah, if you would have this, but we can move them in the file. Yeah, I can just add that here. Like you see, we got a field, we got a file path, and now let's just put here, we have container, read file, and path. And now let's delete all records and try again. Now where's my here? So, and you have all the pictures in the database.
That is pretty awesome, to be honest with you. So yeah, so this file. I mean, you could understand the file to be a couple different ways, Scott. If you just mean you could take the file and host it on FileMaker server, then the client is still going to get access you know, and it's still going to work the way it works, whether it's on server locally. One thing I ran into for those of you who, and it's going to be upcoming. I have a really great live stream. I think it's honestly, once again, I focus on bringing things to everyone here that's kind of very big on horizontal high use kind of situations. And we had a solution that was working on Windows, on the desktop, on the PC, and then we needed to move it to FileMaker Server. So putting the MonkeyBread plugin on FileMaker Server, you can do that, but it's a different license. You have to license that and turn it on the FileMaker Server. So that way PSOS and Sassy and whatever else you want to run on the FileMaker Server can actually do stuff for you, right? And so what we have is dumb as it says, it seems very simple, but I have, once again, these mechanics at Big Valley, and you can go into your mobile app on your phone and do a voice dictation, and at the same time that you're doing the voice dictation, it takes the audio file, uploads it to a service, back comes a JSON array with what you basically wanted to do from that audio. And I can say, create a new record or do this or add some data or whatever. And so people can do data entry or do data editing from like a field service spot where all they have is a phone and maybe they want to record it. They don't want to be on a keyboard because, typing a bunch of stuff up while you're in the middle. Like if Ed Burkle is doing a fire inspection, he's crawling through the attic somewhere. He doesn't want to be typing on a keyboard while he's in a 4-foot crawl space and there's rats and stuff running around him and the rats are of course playing with matches and trying to start fires. It just like deer and squirrels and rabbits out in the natural forests out there. All fires are created by animals who get Bic lighters and matches and stuff, right? That's what all the careless people say. Oh, the animals had matches, so we do that. But Ed doesn't want to be typing on the damn keyboard, okay? And so people are in a spot out in a field service spot where they don't want to be typing on the keyboard, but you could record something. We've always had that. Then you can translate it, and we could always do that for like the last 20 years, right? 30 years, right? But having an AI then look at it intelligently and determine that these are the likely elements and where they get dropped into, like what's the project, who are you, how many hours of work is this? If Ed says violation of fire safety code 41.3 paragraph E, you must make sure that the squirrels don't have matches or easy access to matches. That's a fire safety hazard, right? Or the mice or the rats up in the attic playing with fire, right? So you would verbally say that, it would go out to the service, come back, you import it back into FileMaker into a table, and then FileMaker can take action. You script it to do 5 or 10 very common things that they want to do. This all works because of MonkeyBread and the FileMaker server. Theoretically, it's one of those deals where FileMaker server should do it, or FileMaker Pro should do it without MonkeyBread, but there's something screwed up right now. It's gone to Claris Engineering to do the plugin, do the REST calls with the proper curl calls, because we're talking to the service, and FileMaker would not format it correctly. So we turn on MonkeyBread, it works immediately. We're like, okay, well, so I wrote it up, sent it to Claris, but that's a big one. Having the AI help you make sense of maybe some recordings or things like that. And then that way you can populate the data, push data, edit data. It's a big, big deal, a really big deal. I think once people see, especially if you have field service, if you don't have an organization where you go out in the field at all and do stuff, then it won't make any sense to you. But at the field service people don't want to be out there typing on the keyboard. All right, questions, Margaret, where are we at?
I want to have I have an iOS app SDK, and I want customers to be able to buy microtransactions. Is there a way that MBS can help me make those?
Okay, back up. So a microtransaction or microservice. A microtransaction is where you buy a little upgrade in the app, right? So
yeah, he wants to be able to like have upgrades be bought in the app with the App Store fulfilling it, I think, and it just changes.
Yeah, so if you go on our documentation page, there is a section Store Kit. Here it is, where you can query the products you defined for your iOS application on Apple's website. And there's a products function to give you all the products. And then you can make a payment by adding something to the transaction query. The queue.
Is this Apple Store is what we're talking about here?
Yeah, this is for Apple Store on the iOS device.
You're kidding me, really?
For an in-app purchase.
Okay, so if you have iOS App SDK and you have the MonkeyBread plugin that's installed, so remember, as a reminder, Margaret, MonkeyBread plugin can't run with FileMaker Go because of the way FileMaker Go is just distributed. But if you build an app that theoretically runs on Go, but if you build the iOS App SDK, you can embed the MonkeyBread plugin into your app. So you can embed it in Go with your FMP12 file, and then suddenly you would have access to all this stuff. But the iOS App SDK is a bigger lift. It's not.
Well, if you use FileMaker Go a lot for a lot of users, you may want to have your own branded copy of FileMaker Go with the SDK. It's something you may just do once every year for a new FileMaker version. And you may ask someone like Concert to do it for you. And you can include the plugin in your iOS app, and then you can use functions like this to, well, make a payment.
Make a payment. I think that's a great idea. Look, Margaret, before we get to Schmiegel's question, I want to go back and clean up and make sure that we've answered from Scott Kane. So Scott, I can just tell you from basic stuff is that the MonkeyBread plugin allows us to do things. It doesn't change the laws of physics at all. So if you have a 3 megabyte high resolution image, right? And of course, yeah, we have a 3 megabyte high resolution image. You upload that to a local FileMaker file, or you push up the FileMaker server. Local FileMaker file is local. The FileMaker server is across whatever network connection you have, so there is a penalty to be paid for that. Whether MonkeyBread's involved with that or not, maybe you recompress it with MonkeyBread to make it smaller or something maybe, but generally moving a file across the internet is going to be, there's a penalty for that. So in the mobile app, we had the live stream about this, I don't know, a year ago, and they're taking pictures of these helicopters. The picture taking part is a local app on the phone, and it collects the photos. And then when they decide they're done, they can just press the sync button, and they put the phone down, and the phone will then upload them, to the FileMaker server and park them up there. So while they're busy using it, taking pictures, we don't want this big delay in between photos. So we collect them locally. We do a one-way uphill sync. It's how you solve that. I guess, Christian, what do you think? 3 megabytes up is 3 megabytes up. Doesn't matter where you're involved or not. So.
Yeah, exactly. So the plugin would give you the file path for the images, like the user can select 10 files or can drop 10 files on the icon. And then you get the path, and you can do whatever you like. You can open them, you can convert them to different file format, you can put them in a container field.
Wow.
You can upload them with the curl functions.
Okay, questions?
Let's do Schmiegel's. Christian, you kind of responded it in text, but I'll read it out loud for people. I am using the MBS map view plan root function followed by the map view release all function, but it doesn't clear the cache. And if I run it in a loop, it eats up all the RAM, and I can only run it about 700 times. I need a massive amount, or I have to completely quit FileMaker to clear the RAM and then open it back up to run the next 700. You did reply to me, and I haven't gotten back to you yet, but you suggested I can wrap this function into auto-release pool to free memory quicker, but I don't know how to do that, and I can't find a function that clears the cache or memory.
So let's see. So this is maybe a support question. This is a support question about RAM usage. So let's take a look. The first thing is always, can we reproduce it? So we see FileMaker is currently using 500 megabyte or whatever. And I plan a route. Let's see if something happens. Yeah, there's my route through Germany. And we are at 600 megabyte. So planning a route, loading a few more map things takes some memory. So let's plan a new route. Let's say I take Cologne, Berlin. Oh, takes a while. Oh, and we got a lot more
Oh, that was
memory
a
usage.
jump.
Yeah, so by just, oh yeah, but it got released already, some of it. Down to 7. So there is a memory usage for the maps. And let's close the map. And yeah, it doesn't go down completely. 650. So let's just try again. 637. So I'm not sure if I already did some optimization for that.
Okay,
In
so
that case, I can't reproduce it anymore.
Schmiegel says that's exactly what I'm running into, is what he just said.
Yeah. So it goes up and then it goes down.
But I guess if you loop it really fast, it doesn't go down quickly enough, so it just overloads.
Yeah, I would say there should be script pauses in between from time to time. And I may check if we really don't forget to release something.
Okay, so
That's something I have to debug a little bit. Maybe email me again, remind me, maybe write a test file.
Okay, so Schmiegel says that's exactly what I ran into, except that it went back down for you. I think you might have fixed it. So I'm gonna have Schmiegel pick this up with him, but pick up with Christian offline. But the short version, this is why Christian Schmidt is here, Stump the Monkey. That's the whole point of this, right? Is really this idea that um, is that there's things that we want to do in FileMaker that we can't easily do because FileMaker just doesn't support absolutely everything. And Christian Schmidt, if you throw some dollars at him and buy his stuff, he comes on the show and educates us, but he also shows us how to make a really great app. The difference between, I mean, there's some things in FileMaker that we absolutely, some of the stuff that Christian Schmidt gives us is nice to have, not essential, but some of the stuff is absolutely critical. So very, very important. Good job.
another question we have is, I want to put a progress bar in a portal. Is there a way that I can do that?
On,
Oh yeah.
In a
hovering
portal.
in a portal or hovering over the top of a portal?
They just said in a portal, so interpret that as how you
Didn't
will.
we show that some time ago?
We could have,
You may
but
remember this one. So we use our graphics magic functions to create a picture to show a progress bar. And there are two ways to do that. And one is by a script. So whenever you change the value here, it calculates in the picture.
Nice.
Either by the script, or if you go to the field definition, you find, no, where is it? Here's a bar calculated. You find the calculation for it. This is basically the script one-to-one translated into a let statement.
Oh.
Huh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, and because we just make a picture here, this works for WebDirect.
Woo.
Oh.
That's cool.
So
That's extremely cool.
That's a photo or a graphic in a container, correct? That's what we're
yeah, yeah, that's a picture in a container.
Would it be better to have that as a, well, okay, back up. Assuming you only had one, would it be better to have it as a global? But if you had one on every portal row or row, then you wouldn't want that. It'd be a record-specific container.
Yeah.
Just talking out loud, so yeah.
So you can have it as a container. I don't think you need to have it stored. So it could be calculated on the fly by FileMaker as needed. The thing with the script could be triggered with perform script on server, so you could even use it in FileMaker Go.
Oh, right, because it will return the result. But
yeah, so you could trigger a script on the server to update the picture server side for the given record ID, and then it would even work on FileMaker Go.
that's just awesome. That's what we're doing with the AI stuff, right? Is that we're having PSauce handle it and then give back the answers. So that way we can get results on Go.
Yes. That's the idea with that. It's actually not, yeah, that the structural part of it's not hard. It's just getting the REST APIs and the curl options to work the way you expect them to. And in our case, we're uploading a container, an audio file container to a service. Back comes text. Then we make a second call where we take the text and we parse it with the AI part comes in and it does the JSON parsing stuff. I really think that's a big deal. I would be shocked if you didn't have probably half the FileMaker customers out there wanting that. That's really a big deal. So
Speaking of parsing, I want to pull metadata out of my photos and have the metadata automatically parse into fields. Do you have functions for that?
I'd be shocked if he didn't.
First question is which platform?
Which platform?
Let's see,
Whoever asked the question.
LTTC.
Uh,
So
I think they said Windows. Do you have that for Windows or is it Mac only?
no, this is Graphics Magic can work on Mac, Windows, and Linux. And
Okay.
here's an example file for EXIF data.
Oh, there's a
This
Latin law.
uses,
Nice.
yeah, this uses Graphics Magic functions to get metadata from a picture with the EXIF standard. So every picture comes with several metadata blobs. Like there's EXIF, there's IPTC, there's XMP, an XML file. And the plugin can get you the data, the raw data in the file. And for some things like IPTC and EXIF, we can parse it. So I would need a picture here. Oh, there's nothing inside. Okay, if you have a picture with the data, you can drop it in the example and then you can check it.
Got it. Is there a way to like clear metadata out of a photo? Like clean it out of curiosity?
Yeah, let's look on the functions. So graphics, magic, where is it? Oh yeah, missed it. So much stuff. So profile, we are looking for profile. So we have functions to get here IPC profile, get the values. This would give you a list of all the values found with the IDs. There's get profile, there's set profile, set profile. So, and here we have example script. So we have an EXIF block, an IPTC block, an XMP block. We can all set them to empty.
Oh,
And this
okay.
would clear them. Or you could pass in a container value with profile data you got from a different file. So you could overwrite it if you need.
Cool.
So, but passing empty text will just clear it.
That's deceptively, that's way easier than I thought it would be, to be honest.
Yep.
And this is a common thing we do, like if you have something in a container, one of the picture formats Graphics Magic can do, like 20 different formats or so, and you would just remove this metadata, and then you would maybe recompress it as a JPEG, so you could maybe put it on your website without people knowing which camera you used and which coordinates the location have. Like it's all this privacy stuff, you know.
Yeah, strip out the metadata, Margaret.
That'd be cool.
All right, good.
So someone asked which version I am using of the which plugin version may I use? Well, if you go on my website on the blog, you see I just uploaded a new one today. So this is the 5th pre-release version for 14.4. 14.4 will be released mid of September. And it brings a few new functions.
Oh, I'm sure, just a few.
Oh, test password. That looks interesting. Another question we have, since we're talking about photos, we have hey, I want to be able to rotate and crop photos inside of the container. Is there a way that MBS can help with that?
Wait, stop. We have an emergency communication here.
Oh, do we?
Schmitz says it's fixed. You rock. Oh my God, you have no idea how much time and potential money you save for me. I love you. Can I marry you, Schmiegel?
No, just buy a license from time to time.
Buy a license. Buy a server license time to time. I was like, so yeah. No, it's the server is so great, but I'm sitting there like yesterday, like the product's normally like pretty inexpensive. Then I get the server. It's like, whoa, $599, but it's only half that on the renewal. So it's a little more on the upfront, and then but to keep it up to date, because I keep my stuff generally up to date. So very cool, good one. Schmiegel's day has been fixed. Good, Schmiegel, congratulations on being so awesome as to that's why this stuff is here. Everyone has a little stuff that they're trying to get done, they're trying to make work, and without MonkeyBread, we would have the video was a joke that I had earlier on, but it's serious. People promise people. Rule one, never promise a customer something that you've never done before, but people do that all the time. Your ego made promises you can't keep. And so Christian Schmidt is the ego promise keeper, I guess. So anyway, there we go. So what's the name of the progress bar example file? Yeah, that's a big one. He has these example files, and there's hundreds and hundreds of example files. So graphics magic with a K on the end.
Yeah, progress bar in Portal.
Progress bar in Portal.
Mhm. So,
But that would work everywhere, right? It would be a progress bar anywhere. If it works on a portal, it would work anywhere, right?
Yeah, sure. Sure, but the customer asked about a portal, and in a portal you can't have web viewers for every row. So you need a different solution.
Oh, yeah, containers. Okay, got it, right? Good one. It's always good to be reminded about the limitations, like containers don't work on, or containers work on a portal, but a web viewer does not. So, okay.
Didn't we have a question we missed?
We had a question, which is basically about they want to crop photos, rotate photos, all that jazz. So manipulate container files and without having to leave FileMaker.
We have a graphic magic sample, which is always a nice thing.
It's always a nice thing. I like it. Here we go. So we're going to rotate.
So we can rotate. We have buttons here. We can make it a cold thing. We can mirror it, flip it, other way. If you do it everything twice, you're back. So grayscale. You can enhance the picture a little bit. You can sharpen it.
You want to crop, though, I mean, because you really can't drag and drop on the crop, right? Because that would be a little too fancy.
We have here crop with clicks example. Let me just drop in a picture.
In fact, we've talked about this before in other shows, but this, I guarantee people don't. Okay, here we go. So now.
So let's take this nice picture. And so I can click here, let's say here, and I can click here. The plugin, the script here takes the mouse coordinates and translates them with a little bit math to the coordinates in the picture. And then we edit the picture by drawing these lines over them. And then when I'm done, I can say crop, and I get here the crop picture.
That's pretty great. Yeah. So questions on that? That's a good one. That's a real good one.
So we also just have, you can of course just use the crop example. Where is it? Crop.
Image cropping?
Yeah. No, that is, yeah, image cropping. We have a picture and we have a specification of the coordinates. So here's a size, so it will just crop top left. But let's just change this and say we want 300 by 200, and we want to have a distance from the left of 200 and a distance from top of 200. And then we get this area.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
So that's the way graphics magic specifies rectangles like width, height, the x and y deltas. You can also just use, I think you can use percentages here. Yeah, get something different.
Okay.
So, and the crop with clicks is quite difficult to get right. So I had to do a lot of here calculations on the deltas where we are. And now here, click. Here is all the thing. Like we have to ask FileMaker, where is the container on the layout? How big is the picture? Here, ask how big the picture is. And then we have to do a little math, a few cases like, is the picture wider or is it higher? So depending on the aspect ratio, you have to do different things. And then we get some deltas to actually calculate from the mouse position, which we ask using the plugin, of course, divided by the screen resolution. And on the end, you get coordinates. And Then you can use the coordinates for cropping.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you wrote that and I didn't have to.
Yeah, and this doesn't need a web viewer.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's also
technically
super
it
nice.
should all, no, does it? I'm not sure about web direct. Oh no, you can't ask the mouse position in web direct. So,
Oh,
so
right.
only,
Okay.
only Pro, Mac and Windows.
Schmiegel says, just so you know, and it's totally workable for me, so not nearly as much of a deal at all. It does still climb up in RAM on his previous demo, that maps thing, I think. Used likely because it can't clear it fast enough. But from experience, I know that it slowly clears itself once it's done. Just takes a while with it going up so fast before it won't be feasible. This way will work. If I was to ask for the world, I'd ask that it clears just a bit faster, so I don't have to worry about it. So this is the memory release thing, Margaret, I think is what we're talking
Yeah, but there's the same thing with web viewers. So with a map, you load this map data in memory. You keep it there for some time. When you close the web viewer, a few seconds later, the system notices that the web viewer is gone, so it removes the tiles. Except if you maybe open another web viewer quick enough, then it can reuse them, you know.
Okay. Yeah, hot air balloon, Ken pointed out, that takes like a little test clicks on that crop example. Yeah, I mean, that's why, it's hard for him to do a dynamic resizing thingy. I mean, we have one of those working with JavaScript, but that's been the JS crop thing has been a little bit flaky, right, in terms of long-term reliability because it's not native in FileMaker and JavaScript libraries change. So you have to click it, see where the red lines are, then maybe redo it, right? Start
For
again.
me here, the red line is quite there where the mouse cursor arrow points to. Oh, it's maybe 3 pixels off
I
there.
don't think it's off. Yeah, the JS scripper would be
Oh
theoretically
yeah,
not reliable.
there's a thing with FileMaker. If this container field has a 3 pixel wider margin in the newer version than it used to have in the older, then I have to update the script. So
All
the
right.
style of your container here,
Okay. A container should basically be 0 padding is what I would say. So what are you're saying
let me see,
padding?
but there are things here and
There we go. That's set to 0. Okay.
where is it?
Okay. That looks good.
No, there isn't. How do I get it? How do I?
Padding's on the second, that one. There it
Oh,
is.
here, 8.
Ah, oh,
There's
yeah.
8.
No.
Corner radius is 5. There's a line with 1. So if your style is a little bit different, you will have to adjust the script for the container
Okay.
kind of measurements here.
That's good to know that it takes that into account.
Yeah, it's in the script hard coded. So if FileMaker changes a little bit.
Got it. Okay. Ba-da-ba. Cool. We have another question. If I can find it, where'd it go? There it is. I want there to be pop-up notifications when the user does things like delete records, but I don't want to use JavaScript. Can MBS help with that?
User notifications. Yeah, we have that. Here's an example.
What was it? Read the notification question again, Margaret, for me. I was only half heard that one.
I want a notification to pop up when a customer does things like delete a record, but I don't want to use it. I know this can be done using JavaScript, but I don't want to use JavaScript. So.
Well, then you have to throw it up on the back up. So when we do it with JavaScript, besides the JavaScript benefit, it's also self-contained in FileMaker, so it doesn't throw notifications all over your operating system, right, on the Mac or Windows operating system. So this is an operating system notification, right? Is that what this is? I'm sure. Yeah. I'm not sure I love this. It's not a MonkeyBread thing. It's a question of whether you want the notifications to live purely in FileMaker or you want the computer operating system to be aware of the notification. That's kind of the question.
So we have the functions in the plugin. So go back here. So we have UN notifications. Those are the ones for Mac and iOS, where you can bring a little notification thing on the screen on the top right. And you have a ton of options with the plugin. And then we have here Windows user notifications to do a similar thing on Windows, where they show up on the bottom right. And then you can also do your own with an overlay. It's maybe
Oh,
another
right.
thing. You remember this? Where you just show something on the screen. Or here you have something like a script showing a saved record banner.
There you go.
Different options.
Yes. I want to be able to leave pins on a map in my record, tracking places that the thing that the record has been. Can MBS help with that? They want like little
Places?
like nap pins, I guess, like
We'll push
points
pin.
in a
Yeah.
yeah.
Map kit. Oh, map kit, of course. Oh, there we go.
You might mean the maps where you, let's see,
Yeah, that. I think
pin
that's what
like
they want.
this.
Yeah, but we don't want a whole bunch of them.
Does one of the scripts show a lot of pins?
Oh, we have another question from NJ. We'll get to yours momentarily. NJ has a question. I always want to make sure we ask that.
Oh, this draws a line. So technically you can add a lot of pins. Like I could just here put another one. So Berlin.
Okay.
And you can add as many as you want. And
Awesome.
I think you can here put in the color. Let's make a blue one and let's say Munich.
Oh,
So,
that's extremely nifty, is what that is.
so we have this map kit support for Mac and iOS and on the plugin. If you need something cross-platform, you may just go and embed Google Maps SDK in the web viewer. So
Okay. So on the Windows side, you punted. Okay, that's fine.
yeah, well, this is on device, and on Windows, I haven't yet looked into the map things from Microsoft, because last time I looked into it, it was only for apps in the Microsoft Store,
Oh,
and FileMaker isn't there, so we couldn't use the maps.
got it. Follow-up question about not from a different person, but can you add some metadata to the pins, such as date? So if you get like a little
You saw here, this function has a title, a subtitle, identifier. And the identifier is because you can have a script trigger for when you click on the pin.
Wait, what? That's cool.
I think we have that. Let me look.
On pin hover, on pin click.
Where are my triggers here? Set let's say script. Yeah, you can set a script. The script is called for pins with identifiers when clicked. And we pass you a JSON with a lot of data. So you know which pin, where the mouse is. So
That's cool. That's very cool is what that is.
you can react on the click there. Oh, and you see here?
There you go.
That's pretty snazzy. That's Canberra's question there. All right, so I'm going to pivot backwards to a question from NJ. NJ has done some demos for us, some really amazing UI demos and some interaction demos using what I would call stupid FileMaker tricks. It means that NJ is not stupid. I'm just saying that the level of things that guy has done in some sample files, looping and changing the size of text and having it, some of it would be really great if it was natively in the computer. So moving forward from that, NJ says, "Good morning, everyone. I'm from Australia. Do you have an quote on Windows Move close quote trigger?" That seems to me that would be absolutely
on Windows close?
No, on Windows Move.
Move.
Move a window. But I think that's
Schedule
also
move trigger here. This one. So I move the window and
yeah, the
shows here
numbers are
the
changing. Yeah, yeah.
time.
So it's called.
Yeah,
So look for a sample file called schedule
move
move
trigger.
trigger.
So this is a plugin. So we have with the schedule functions, we have the possibility to run expressions here regularly, like once a second.
Okay.
And the expression is basically this here, checking for current window. So there's a placeholders here, which will be filled when, but otherwise we store the old position with the window. We have this tag function where you can put something on a FileMaker window, some data hidden, linked to the window. And so we can remember the last position. We can ask the window where it is now. And if the old position doesn't match the new position, well, it just moved. And then we can run a script and store, of course, in the new position. So
David Angel had something here, and then it just went away. But I was thinking the same thing. Isn't there a? It's on. Is it a Windows? Is it a Windows built into FileMaker on Trigger? Can we go to Triggers in FileMaker real quick to see what it is natively?
here, layout triggers.
Yeah, let's look at these. I think there's an on layout size change, and the size change I think will. Does that fire if you move the window?
Oh, let's test. Test. Oops. Dialog.
Okay, you move.
Triggered.
Yeah, there you go. So it was originally designed for Go, which is what it was for. Okay, so
Triggers with the size, but I can move.
okay, so let me cover the backstory on this real quick. So originally, what people wanted to dictate or detect that an iPad was being rotated. People don't rotate phones too much, really, but iPads, you never get two people that will look at it the same way. So they wanted a way of detecting that it'd rotate. There used to be a trigger was like on rotate or something. This goes back FileMaker 15 or 14 or something. And what they ended up doing is they changed it to be a size change. Technically, if you go from here to here, conceptually the size doesn't change, the screen real estate doesn't change, but the X and the Y lengths of the window change. And so that function is not so much as that the size has changed. It just means that the X and Y, either the X or the Y have changed, but the sum of both of those together, right? The sum of them together is not what it's going on. It's going, did X change? Yes or no? Did Y change? Yes or no? If so, fire the native trigger. So yeah, David, NJ and David Angel had exactly the same thought I did. I'm like, God, didn't I see this somewhere? And it triggers almost, but not when you move the window. That's Christian's deal. So okay.
Same thing here is like a trigger for window activation. So you know whenever a new window is in the front.
On window focus or whatever you would say.
Yeah, basically. And this basically does the same thing. It just checks what's the current window and no, this is a wrong file. I have to stop the trigger.
Oh yeah,
So
now you got it
annoying.
out of control.
So start. So basically this just checks if the last window is the same as the current window. And that's it already. And it uses a MBS managed variable to store the ID of the current window, so we can just compare the numbers.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So
yeah,
so you know.
David Angel is one of the smart people here. There's a whole bunch of smart people here, but whenever the smart people, I do something like the same as the smart people do, I feel better about it. Because I was almost going to say something, right? And I'm like, But yeah, see, the thing is, as soon as Claris doesn't do something right on the edge, like the window move, right? Because on Go, the window doesn't move. It either would go to the background or come to the foreground to be in focus or not, but it doesn't really move, right? But on Mac and Windows, it can move. So cool. Other questions? NJ, you're here. Welcome. You missed the cake and the party. This is the 60th episode of Christian Schmitz doing live streams explaining us how to solve problems in the FileMaker platform. So if you have questions, Or just wish everyone some last questions for today. Yeah, that's what we're asking
Yeah.
everyone.
Or maybe back to the overlay. This is the HTML for the we used for the overlay.
Okay.
You can modify it. You could run JavaScript there. You could have buttons there, whatever you like.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to go back to the overlay solution, and like I just added some text here, just a test, and can add some more text. Oh, it didn't do the. I didn't do the text encoding here. There's a header missing.
That's honestly like really, really cool. You said you could add buttons to it. I want to see the buttons.
Let's get here the
AH.
metadata. Shazet, you want a button.
AH.
Input type is button.
Oh,
Okay, the button should maybe have a title. Let's see.
Do
Yeah. Test button. Oh, there's test behind. Oh, wait. What do, button? Oh, the question is, how do I put the title in the button?
Yeah, I don't do a lot of HTML coding from scratch. Some of you do that. It's your bailiwick, your ball of fire. Let's
there
see.
it is.
Okay, don't need a closing one.
Oh yeah, value inside
No.
there.
So we have a button and we can click it. There's no action yet. On click.
Hey, Peter Geens is here. Welcome,
Alert.
Peter.
Hello. Oh, I bet the plugin can't show it. I need to write code to decide what to do when you have an alert. What could I do?
Can you run a FileMaker script?
On click. Can I just? I would have to put the URL here. What could I do? Something in JavaScript. Oh, you see here we measure it. So I could have a JavaScript to say we could change the button maybe.
Oh,
Let's see. Give the button ID. Test. Document. Get element by ID. Test. Dot value. Say okay. No idea if this is working. No,
Yep, yeah, there you go.
document get element by ID. Ready? Make another one. Yeah,
Oop.
I
oh,
changed
there it
okay.
went.
Okay.
The idea that you can have little web viewer floating on the screen, like FileMaker doesn't know about it, you know, it can be
Mm-hmm.
used for a lot of things. We'll see.
Yes. You can interact with it a ton.
Yeah, Peter. No, this is Christian. By the way, some of you, I don't know. It's one of those things that trying to find the exact video that we like. This is all great, but maybe I'm going to pick on someone. Let's say Gadidi is looking to do photo stuff, but he's not paying attention today. And then in 2 weeks, he decides he has to do a bunch of photo stuff. He's like, where did I see the photo thing with MonkeyBread? So one of the things I want to do with the MonkeyBread videos is to kind of chop them up and make them into almost like a little bit of a library. So if you were asking about like a portal or a progress bar in a portal, then there would be like we take these 1 hour things and we chop them down to the little moving nuggets. That way you can find what you're looking for, or you can just bother Christian Schmidt. If you give him money, you can bother him. I'm being clear. I feel okay about emailing Christian, whatever, when I get stuck and I say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Of course, he expects that I'm some sort of massive rock and roll programmer like Todd Geist, but you know.
So there's also a blog article you could find. So
a blog article you can search.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So how do we get the blog? Show us the blogs again.
mbsplugins.de. There's a lot of stuff. The blog, like there's a new video released today on YouTube, you know.
Shocking. All right, cool. Well, I'm looking forward to it, everyone. Awesome. Peter Geens, any more questions before we call it a day?
I think we're good.
60th episode. We're very excited by that. So, all right, good to go. All right, everyone, that's it for today. Appreciate it. We'll catch you tomorrow. I'm going to share my screen here real quick. See ya.
Enough.